Alright, so this is just a video to kind of elaborate to people who don't know me very well on why I'm an atheist and an anti-theist, and just to share my story. And just a fair warning, I'm probably going to say and pause a lot, so I guess we'll just start. When I was a kid, I was fairly religious. I was raised in a religious household, Christian mom and dad, go to church every damn Sunday. My mom made me keep prayer journals, and it wasn't until maybe middle school that I kind of started to doubt. Now, in middle school, I went to these church camps in Oklahoma and other parts of Texas, and not saying that Oklahoma's in Texas, just clarifying for people who think I'm an idiot right now. But I went to all these church camps, and I remember the one that really stuck out to me was this one where they brought us into a room to have us speak in tongues. And like right off the bat, I kind of knew that it was bullshit. And I was just like, huh. And I just thought to myself, maybe I'm not trying hard enough. Maybe I'm not Christian enough or something silly like that. So I just kind of pushed that doubt back to the back of my mind, and I was just like, whatever, I'm just not trying hard enough or something. And so all throughout middle school and not a good portion of high school, maybe 25% of a fourth of high school, I was one of those Christians who's like, read your Bible, but I never read mine. So I was one of, like the 80% of Christians that are out there right now. But in high school was when I finally got high-speed internet. My mom divorced my stepdad, and I finally got high-speed internet because I used to live out in the boondocks, basically, in the boonies. And I discovered Christopher Hitchens and Richard Dawkins and, Marilyn Manson's music, and it was very influential on my brain and my viewpoints. So I also went to a lot of church camps throughout high school as a believer and non-believer. And one that stuck out to me was the one that's had the keynoter. His name was Phil Shepherd, and he's a wonderful man. He runs a church called the Eucatastrophe here in Texas, and I remember he really inspired me to actually be a Christian. And so I went home after that week at church camp, grabbed my Bible and said, if I read this, because I was already struggling with it, my beliefs, I just thought to myself, if I read this and I believe it, great. If I read it and I don't believe it, that's great too, because at least I know exactly what I don't believe in. And so I opened it up, and I couldn't comprehend the stuff that I'd been believing all this time. I opened to the Old Testament, and reading through the creation story again, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. It's a paradox. If there's free will, then God can't know everything. But if God knows everything, then he knew that we would have eaten from the apple and fallen from his good graces, and also talking snakes. It just didn't make sense to me. Goddamn garage door. Fucking loud. But, and so right off the bat, I was like, you know what, this is kind of silly. But I kept reading, thinking, maybe I'll believe in it or something. And I opened to like Leviticus and Deuteronomy, the chapters with all the crazy verses of God's silly commandments. And I just couldn't believe that God would make these commandments and have people put to death because they didn't follow them, like not eating shellfish, or wearing clothes of two different types of fabrics, or planting crops next to each other that were different. It just didn't make sense to me. And then I started to get angry because I started to read the verses about slavery and how God condones slavery and rape. And if you rape a girl who's a virgin, then you just have to pay her father how much she was worth, and she's your wife now. I just couldn't comprehend that a loving God would create these. So I took to Facebook, because I didn't have a Tumblr at the time, don't have a blog, And so I just started ranting about what I just discovered, basically. And 3 people got very angry with me, and they didn't like what I was saying. And we argued for weeks, and after a while I was just like, you know what, we're not getting anywhere. We're just pissing each other off, let's quit. And we shook hands, walked away, metaphorically, of course. And it's just kind of, it's always been silly to me that the Bible was the thing that would make me realize that I was an atheist. And not only an atheist, an anti-theist. You know, it never occurred to me throughout my entire life that the religious book itself would make me realize I'm an atheist. I mean, I'd listen to Hitchens for hours, listen to Dawkins for hours, listen to Marilyn Manson's music for hours. And the thing that made me realize I was an atheist was reading the Bible for 15 minutes. You know, it makes me wish I'd actually read it sooner. But, you know. And I did go back to that church camp my last year, my senior year. And it was kind of weird because we went to small groups. And it's a very liberal church camp, very liberal church. But we went to small groups, and I straight up told them, I don't believe in your religion. I think it's stupid, but I'm not going to debate with you because, you know, I'm here as a non-believer at a believer camp. And I don't, if you're here to learn about your religion, I'm here to learn too. I'm not here to start fights. And it was kind of weird that, I mean, I didn't get the reaction I expected. Like, I didn't expect them to chase me out of the camp with pitchforks like Frankenstein's monster or something, but I didn't expect them to be really cool about it and want to know stuff and ask me questions. That was really neat. It was the first time someone actually genuinely wanted to listen to my viewpoints about my non-belief and my opposition to Christianity. So it was pretty cool. So that's my story. I'm Floyd, and I'm an atheist. I'm also an anti-theist. Thanks for watching, I guess.